wisdom,
prudentia,
justice,
justitia,
temperance,
temperantia,
courage.
fortitudo.
Applying ancient philosophy to modern life, this is the Sunday Stoic.
Hi everyone, and welcome to the Sunday Stoic. My name is Ryan, and I will be the guest host for this episode. I'm really excited to get the opportunity to be on the podcast for a number of reasons. Firstly, I absolutely love this podcast. Steve has taught me a lot about the history of Stoicism, about many of the major Stoic figures. He's had some great guests on the podcast, and of course he's motivated me to put a lot of the practices and principles into action. On today's episode, I'll be looking at what the Stoics have to say about living in the present moment. This is an especially relevant topic, given the situation that we find ourselves in. As I'm recording this podcast, we are still in the middle of a global pandemic. Many of us look to the future for hope and optimism, because we can't find any of that right now. However, the Stoics would say we have so much to live for. This is because they realize that the only thing we have is the present moment. Therefore, worrying about the future and the past won't get us anywhere. Right now I'm going to read a passage from Marcus Aurelius. This is from his Meditations, Book 2, Chapter 4. Though you were to live 3,000, or, if you please, 30,000 of years, yet remember that no man could lose any other life than that which he now lives. Neither is he possessed of any other than that which he loses. Whence it follows that the longest life, as we commonly speak, and the shortest come all to the same reckoning. For the present is of the same duration everywhere. Everybody's loss, therefore, is of the same bigness, and reaches no further than to a point of time. For no man is capable of losing either the past or the future, for how can one be deprived of what he has not? So that under this consideration there are two notions worth remembering. One is that nature treads in a circle, and has much the same phase through the whole course of eternity, and therefore it signifies not at all whether a man stands gazing here in 100, or 200, or an infinity of years, for all that he gets by it is only to see the same sights so much the oftener. The other hint is, that when the longest and shortest lived persons comes to die, their loss is equal. They can but lose the present as being the only thing they have, for that which he has not, no man can be truly said to lose. What I love about this quote is its main message. Here Marcus is reminding us that it doesn't matter how many years we live or the quantity of our life. What matters is the quality and how we go about living it. He says if we tack on thousands or tens of thousands of years, all that we really have is the present moment. So the past and the future doesn't matter. We have to focus on the here and now to live a virtuous life. We hear a lot of Eastern philosophy echo this same mentality. I know right now I'm reading the book The Art of Simple Living, 100 Daily Practices from a Japanese Zen Monk for a Lifetime of Calm and Joy by a Zen high priest named Masuno. And he is echoing the same things. We need to find ways to ground ourselves and focus on the present moment, because by doing that, we're able to live virtuously and a happy and meaningful life. The Stoics provide us with a number of practices we can use to help ground us in the present moment. One is to tell ourselves that this too shall pass. So if you have a particular event from the past that is bothering you and it's creeping into the present, you could always tell yourself that at some point within the future or within a period of time, this will not be bugging me. Therefore, I have to focus on those things that are important in the present moment. Another thing, obviously, is focusing on the things within your control. If you're bothered about things that are outside of your control, again, things associated with the future or the past, you can practice by doing what Massimo Pigliucci suggests, creating a T-chart and writing down the things within your direct control, and then separating them from the things that are not, and trying your best to focus on the things that are. Some Zen practices that I've learned by reading this particular book that I mentioned earlier is that you could focus on mindful eating. That is, focus particularly on the actual task of eating instead of multitasking by watching media or talking to someone What you could also do as well is focus your attention on nothing for a period of time. This could be a minute, 2 minutes. Try your best to just be completely present and not think about anything, and this may actually clear your mind and help focus on the tasks that are in your immediate control. These practices have helped me in a number of ways, both in my job, when I was in school, as well. I'm a long distance runner, so whenever I'm met with particular challenges, when I've run a certain amount of distance and I'm dealing with pain, I try to ground myself in the present moment by focusing on the things within my control, telling myself this pain will eventually come to pass, and again, finding different techniques such as breathing, such as looking at objects, and allow my mind to be still. I mentioned earlier how we're in the middle of a pandemic and a lot of people are going through difficulty. And in no way am I trying to say that their difficulty is something they could simply just put behind them. But I really think taking the time to ground yourself in the present moment could really bring a sense of awareness and a real sense of gratitude. That gratitude being how we are alive in this particular moment, and we should take advantage of it even if we're going through obstacles. And, similar to what Ryan Holiday says, and Marcus Aurelius, the obstacle could sometimes be the way. And we can learn about ourselves and grow in unique ways because of the hurdles that we have to go through. So that's it for me today. I really want to thank Steve for allowing me to guest host on this particular episode. I am going to be guest hosting on one more episode in 2020. Next time, I'll be tackling a different topic, one that's a little bit more specific to the holiday season and on moderation. So be sure to look out for that one. Thank you for listening, everyone, and carpe diem.